Welcome to the Turn of the XOL podcast. My name is Ocean, and I have a lot of things to talk about. This is XOL. This is season 2. Week 1's just passed. Week 2 is a new. We are about to head on. We have 2 new sections for you in the XOL podcast this season. We start off with a highlighted team. We'll be highlighting one team each week for our XOL season and our XOL podcast. As such as a new section, we have our XOL in 60 presented by Baysk.
In 60, what's up, gamers? We had slips, flips, and blowouts. The introductory week of Season 2 of the XOL was full of 4-0 wins and losses, with the exception of one match. Whether the arenas were covered in ice or thumbsticks were broken, we had a record number of accidental deaths this week. Despite these random miscues, 4 teams were tied for this top spot, being C4, Vanquish, SIF, and Demented. This also means that we have 4 teams that are winless through week 1, with those squads being RK, Influx, Exile, and Cup of Love. TBM and Spartans round off the middle of the pack, with TBM taking the dub 3-1. Impulse were the first team to have the bye this week, so they are currently smack dab in the center. Due to the map pool, almost 45% of comps were primarily dive focused. We also saw a lot of playtime from our old Omnic friend Bastion, who at some points was the carry factor for teams. Ocean made a power rankings video, which I highly suggest you check out, which is looking okay so far. Baysks controller got play of the game when it disconnected for 2 minutes during a cast.
Xbox Overwatch League, or XOL, as we like to call it, as it's shortened. Everyone likes to shorten things these days. It's an Xbox Overwatch tournament of figures where 11 teams will fight it out to become champion. The regular season of the Xbox Overwatch League, or XOL, will consist of a round-robin tournament where each team will play each other once. Standings will be collected at the end of the season, with the top 6 making playoffs.
So after the regular season concludes, like Ocean said, we got a 6-team single elimination bracket in which the top 2 seeds are going to get first round byes. So if you are seed 1 or 2, you're going to skip out on that first match and go straight to the semifinal. And like we said, this is single elimination, so you win your match, you move on, and the last team standing is going to be the winner of season 2.
Alright, so we had lots of trades between Season 1 and Season 2 of the XOL. Particularly a team getting involved in the trades was Vanquish. They picked up Sentai from Team Mint. They also picked up Ocean, Spa, and R2B from Team Impulse. They also picked up Shindy and Baysk, both of the DPS MVPs from, not DPS MVPs, sorry, healer MVPs. Baysk wishes he was a DPS MVP. You know, Baysic's Genji, you know, he always hypes it up so much. But then we watch it and it's absolute crap. So anyways, they picked up the MVP support line from the league. So Vanquish, they gained a lot in supports by just looking at the league and just taking players, you know, because apparently Vanquish like to steal players. You know, Vanquish does mean destroy. They just like to destroy other teams. That's what they do. Influx, in other news, picked up T-Mac Attack from Exile/Vanquish. He did have a couple trial runs in pre-season with them, while TBM opted to go for another approach and take Bash and Flanker from Impulse and Callum 2490 from Spartan's Mint merger. That's been your trades and transactions, and we'll see you in the next section. Anyways, it's on to our results section, which will be hosted by Baysk.
Alright, so for the results this week, pretty straightforward actually. C4 took the dub over RK 4-0. Demented beat Influx also 4-0. Impulse had their bye this week. SAF beat Exile 4-0. Vanquish beat Cup of Love 4-0. And TBM, you guessed it, beat Spartans 3-1.
Yeah, so TBM versus Spartans takes our match of the week, but it really should be Impulse with their bye week. Anyways, I'm really disappointed by the fact of RK versus C4. I had them both ranked as number 2 and 4 in my power rankings. However, C4, the number 4 ranked team in my power rankings, did take that win 4-0. RK kind of disappointing after their big 3-1 win over Demented in the show match. Anyways, it's on to our second news section now. We'll be talking about a highlighted team each week. Each week, the highlighted team will be the team with the bye week. And of course, that team this week is Impulse. So Baysk, what are your thoughts on this Impulse roster and how they have done as an organization in a whole?
Yeah, so my thoughts on the roster. I mean, having the bye week 1, we don't really know how they look this season. We did see a show match though. I don't know if it was a week or 2 ago. I think something like that, about a week ago, and it was them versus C4.
About a week ago.
Okay. Yes, so it was Impulse versus C4, and we saw a lot. I personally, because I cast that game, saw a lot of new faces. You know, some people I hadn't seen before, nobody who played from season 1, especially BK Flunky. DPS player did some insane stuff as Widowmaker, and then also Manic Pigeon, and just the supports of Impulse are very good. I mean, they've made the correct roster moves in my opinion. They've gotten the right players, and they're gonna be a really powerful team. I mean, season 1 of the XOL, you saw this team take the runner-up spot. They lost to C4 in the grand final actually, but they were undefeated through the regular season. And I mean, it really shows that I think the team's made improvements too. So I mean, if you have a team that goes undefeated in season 1 and now they're even better, I mean, this is really a team to look out for.
Yeah, they did lose some players though. They lost Spa, Domos, Ocean, and RGB, who are very big players for them. Also, Stride Squid. However, they made one big play in preseason, and that was keeping Manic Piggin. As you did mention him before, he's probably the best player in the league, or at least the best support player in the league, because Zenyatta and his Winner and his Lucio are very, very consistent, and he runs them very, very well. I'm excited to see how they do this season. Anyways, our next new section of XOL, we thought we had a bit more competition like we did last season, but instead of 1v1s, we thought we'd put our analytical skill and actual podcast testability to the test. Testability to the test. That's what you do with tests. That's how they work. Anyways, we're talking about the schedule and our predictions for this week. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Schedule. We got Demented versus Reborn Knights. We got Impulse versus C4 rematch from the grand final of season 1. That is exciting. SIF is going to be taking on Influx. Vanquish is going to have their bye week because Deceased is their bye week, yes. Spartans are going to be taking on Exile, and TBM going to be taking on Not Outbreak. They're going to be playing Cup O Love.
Yes, indeed. I want to talk about my thoughts about the first one. Of course, Reborn Knights Orange is now gone. It's not just Reborn Knights White. A lot of Reborn Knights Orange players did hop a ship over to Demented Esports, so obviously an interesting one. We've already seen these two teams play each other in XOL so much, where Reborn Knights did take the win 3-1. However, Demented are looking good, and Reborn Knights did just lose 4-0 to C4 Overwatch. So I'm actually going to go with a 4-0 Demented victory.
All right, so I'm probably going to have to agree with you there, just based on what happened in week 1. I mean, Demented winning 4-0 and RK losing 0-4, you know. You got to think about momentum as well. Demented feeling good after that win, RK probably not feeling so good. It'll be a lot about how RK bounces back from it, but I think I'm going to agree 4-0 Demented should win this one.
Yeah, what's the scoreline? You're going to go with 4 as well?
Yes.
Okay, anyways, the next match we have, as you said, indeed, was the finals rematch. Impulse versus C4. Impulse didn't have a game this week, and also C4 won 4-0 against Reborn Knights, as we just previously mentioned. C4, they did lose a couple players. Impulse did gain a lot of players, also losing a couple players, a lot of leaders. However, they did retain a lot of the services important players. I think I am going to put this a 3-2
3-2.
Impulse.
Wow. You think it's going to be that close?
Yeah.
I think it's going to... I think it's going to be an Impulse blowout, to be completely honest with you. Do you remember the score of the show match, Impulse versus C4, that was played like a week and a half ago? It was 4-0 Impulse, correct?
Yeah, 4-0. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what has changed after that show match? Just keep that in mind. I don't think anything has really changed. Now, I think Impulse just has the stronger supports. I think they now have a star DPS in Flunky, and I think that's really going to be tough for C4. I mean, one thing we saw them struggle with in Season 1 is being able to address those high-skill DPS players. I mean, people can carry against C4. I think that's really possible, and I think that might be the case with Impulse, because not only do they have that star DPS, they also have the supports and the tanks to help them out there. And so I really think it's going to be a slaughter for Impulse, 4-0. So, I mean, C4, you're a good squad, but I just think Impulse is better.
However, I do think it will be closer than you think because of the tank line difference. I think C4's tank line is better. I think tanks are really important at the moment. Anyways, next game. Probably not the most entertaining one. It'll be Sam and Flames Fan Club against Influx. Do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think I know what you're going to say, Ocean. Referring back to your power rankings, you put SIF in first and Influx in 11th, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, based on that alone, obviously Ocean's power rankings aren't the most concrete thing of evidence. Sorry for the light roast there, but I can't agree with... SIF will probably win 4-0. That's my guess. I mean, SIF is just too strong. You saw what they just did to...
Exile.
Yeah, you just saw what they did to Exile. I mean, I think they're going to do the exact same thing to Influx, 4-0. Pretty clean sweep.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same scoreline, 4-0, because I don't see Influx winning a map this season.
Yikes. Oh my goodness. Not even a map? Dude, I don't know about that one, Chief. I do know that I'm assuming it'll be 4-0 Salmon Flames, but that's just because it's Salmon Flames. I don't know if Influx are not going to... That's a little harsh, man, but all right. You know what? All right. Next one.
Anyways, our next game is, let me just check. Oh yeah, it's Vanquish versus the Seas, but
Bye
Vanquish have a
week.
bye, so that'll be the highlighted team next week.
Oh.
It is Spartans versus Exile.
You want me to take Spartans versus
I want to
XO
go first
here?
on this one.
You don't want to go first?
I'm
Well,
going first.
you're
I
going
do
first?
want to go first.
Oh, my bad, Chief. Go for it.
Anyways, Spartans versus Exile. This is number 8 and number 9 on my power ranking. Spartans at number 8, Exile at number 9. However, Exile, they looked dodgy today. However, they looked better when there was dive maps involved. And it doesn't look like there is any dive this next week. I'm going to go with Spartans to win 3-1.
I am very glad that you went first there because my prediction is completely different. I really think since we have the same Exile from Season 1 and now with the addition of Alpha Shot Adam, they're just going to be a super strong squad and a super scary squad in the sense that they have these weird strategies that I don't think Spartans are going to be able to deal with. We know Exile from running just the craziest stuff in Season 1. I think that's going to come back again in Season 2. It didn't work very well versus SIF, but I really do think it will work against Spartans. That's why I think Exile is going to take it 3-1.
I think if they bring in B-Wood, I can see that prediction working. But I don't think they're going to bring him back in. I think they're going to be too stubborn.
Yikes.
Anyways, the next game, and the last game of the week, will be TBM taking on Couple Love. Your thoughts?
My thoughts, TBM should win 4-0. I really have nothing else to really say about it. I just think TBM is the better team. There's not a specific reason. It's just I think Couple Love is going to be overpowered, sorry to say.
I think that if Sebi Boy's back, they have a chance. But I don't think that even that chance is even going to be enough. I'm going to go for a 4-0 scoreline as well to TBM.
All right. Now that's going to do it with the predictions and the week 2 fixtures. So let's move it on to the next segment.
Anyways, on to our last section. As we know, XOL is number 1 league for development in Overwatch on Xbox. So of course we've got our highlighting players and developing players section. And we're going to start things off with the 7 Flames tank line. We have Gherkin and Jaybird UK as the current tank line. Jaybird is on off tank and Gherkin on main tank. They looked really good today in their game against Exile, and we're kind of overpowering the Exile tank line that we actually all know and love from Season 1. So I think putting them as a development, because their tank line wasn't great last season. That's why they did not make playoffs, even though they had George and H-Bomb. But today they looked refined, reformed, and I think they're developing well and could be one of the better tank duos in the league coming into the later stages.
Yes, I agree. That is one of the scariest tank duos. And speaking of scary, we got Zabs from Vanquish, one name that you guys might probably not have heard of because he wasn't a part of Season 1, but now he is on the Vanquish roster for Season 2. He is their Widow player mainly, just kind of hit scan for Vanquish. Anyway, I think he should be noted here because of the huge impact he had on specifically Watchpoint Gibraltar in their match against Cupo Love. Zabs is an incredible hit scan player. He hasn't gotten enough recognition yet because he hasn't played much, but he is extremely clutch in a lot of situations, going on a lot of just tears, picking people in the backlines, picking people in the front lines. He's just kind of killing everything as Widow. So if he goes uncontested, he's pretty scary to go up against. And one reason why I wanted to highlight him is just because I think he's going to be a huge factor for Vanquish's success. I mean, they have a great DPS lineup, and to round it off with an incredible Widow player really makes them a scary squad to go against.
Speaking of squarey squads, I don't think Vanquish's roster is quite the shape of a square. However, I do think Influx's may be. Their main support is probably the key to unlocking that perfectly sized square, all sides equal length. Vaporverse is already at the 6 centimeter mark and everyone else is at the 4 centimeter mark. She is ahead of the rest and is looking really good in that main support role. Not only can she play all of the main supports, but she can play them all to a decent level. Her Mercy today was a key highlighted out by Krabby a couple times for insane movement and incredible dodges to stay alive in the fights. That's why I think Vaporverse is the last shimmering of hope in Influx's chances this season.
Yikes, that's harsh.
Anyways, that is going to wrap things up for XOL Podcast Week 1. I hope you guys did enjoy the laughs, the fails, the bans. Anyways, I'm going to sign off here, and we're going to have a wee reminder from Baysk.
Make sure y'all are drinking water, Epic Gamers, get that dub, get that bread, drink the water, help the fuel.
He's drinking Red Bull.
Drinking Red Bull right now, but the most important thing is to be drinking water at all times because water fuels your excellence. You can't get dubs without drinking water. I mean, take it from Salmon Flames. Those guys just live inside of water. That's why they're so good. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.